Hello everyone, I am Uknits, and today I want to talk to you about a fairy tale that's a little bit grittier, surprise surprise, than the Disney version. The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. Once upon a time, there was, wait for it, a little mermaid. This little mermaid had 5 sisters, a father, and a grandmother. Sounds pretty normal. So, in this world, mermaids go up to the surface on their 15th birthday to see the surface world. You know, you want to know what's out there. And this little mermaid's always been entranced by what's up there, and from stories that she's been told. So when it's her turn to go up, she goes to the surface and immediately falls in love with a prince on a ship. Never mind that she's never actually talked to him or met him before, but let's be honest, if you fell in love with the man after you got to know him, there'd be no zest to the relationship. Sure, we'll go with that. Anyway, storm hits, ship overturns, man is about to drown, and so she drags the prince to the shore and takes him into a temple for a young woman to nurse him back to health, because obviously she can't really stay on the shore. Anyway, she's so entranced, she goes down to Grandma and is like, "Grandma, I fell in love with this prince, can we get married?" And Grandma's like, "Wait a second. No. Air and water don't mix. He's got legs, you've got a fin." So she says, "Well, if he had a fin, could he live down here forever?" She's like, "No, actually, humans die, but they have souls. And you don't get a soul. I'm sorry. No soul for you. You're a mermaid, not a human." So apparently mermaids don't get souls in this world. By the way, Disney, thanks for the shout out by making Ariel a ginger. Very appreciated. Regardless, so she's a little peeved right now. This whole soul deal sounds like a good bit to her, and she loves the prince. So since Grandma didn't have the answer she wanted and instead said, "No, no soul for you," she goes to the evil witch. Like you do when you didn't get what you want from your grandma. So the evil witch says, "Well, I can't give you a soul, but I can give you legs. Go up on the surface. Unfortunately, you're not supposed to have legs, so it'll feel like you're stepping on knives every time you use them. Oh, and I have to have a price, so I'll have to rip your tongue out, because that's the going price for legs these days. I've got a chart here. Tongue for legs. Fair trade. Oh, and about that soul thing, I can't give you a soul. So for you to get a soul, what you're going to have to do is make the prince fall in love with you and marry you. And apparently when you get married, you share a soul? However that works, apparently during the wedding vows, a soul just and enter your body. And if you marry someone else, though, your hope of getting a soul is crushed, and so you'll turn into sea foam and die. Little details. Don't worry about it. Charming personality, you'll be a great dancer. So she figures, sounds like a good deal. The whole dying thing is a bit of a put off, but you know, I can work around that. Just make him fall in love. Well, regardless, she goes to the surface as a human. Apparently just finds the prince just walking around on the shore. Apparently he just mingles with all the commoners, because that's what royalty did back then. They do fall in love, and they are having a good relationship, when one day, good old king, Prince's dad, says, "Actually, Prince, I know you're dating this girl, but I kind of sold you to the neighboring kingdom so you can marry that princess to bind us together in peace. And you don't have a say in it." Well, the prince stands up to him and says, "No, I'm only going to marry the girl that I love." Unfortunately for the Little Mermaid, this chivalrous stand is broken as soon as he discovers that the princess was actually the girl from the temple who nurtured him back to health and who he mistakenly thinks saved him because, oh yeah, the Little Mermaid didn't so much as leave a note or say hello or goodbye. And she can't talk now to correct the problem. So he blows her off. And now not only has she gone through a very bad breakup, but she has the impending doom of death to console her from this breakup. Not the best day for her, so she runs back to the sea, see if she can find some help, and she meets her sisters who have no hair at all. She's like, "Where'd your hair go?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we wanted to help you, so we sold our hair to the sea," which don't know what she wants with it. Little creepy if you ask me, but we got what we wanted. So here's a dagger. All you have to do is stab your prince, gut him like a fish, and the deal is broken. You can come back into the water. Sound good? And the Little Mermaid's like, no, actually, that sounds like a terrible plan. I know he broke up with me, but I'm not going to kill him. That's horrible. So she runs up to the cliff tops and figures, well, if I'm going to die, make up my own terms, jumps off the cliff, and upon hitting the water, immediately turns into sea foam and dies. What? No, that's the end. That's actually how the fairy tale ends. Later, after the publication, Hans Christian Andersen added a little bit about, sure, she can have a soul, but she has to do 300 years of hard labor as sea foam first. But no, that's the ending of the story. Disney might have changed that part a little bit. Apparently, killing the main character. Apparently, when the hero loses and the bad guy wins, and I should clarify, I don't know what the Sea Witch actually gained out of any of this. I mean, it's not like she overthrew the kingdom or anything. She just killed a little girl for giggles. Why not? Sounds fun. She got a tongue. Don't know what she's going to do with it. But yeah, end of the day, everybody loses. So words of wisdom. If you're going to bet your life on the guy you love, you might want to actually sit down and have a talk with him and get to know him first. And so, adieu, fair audience.